Have you ever wondered where someone like Jesse Eisenberg goes when he wants life to slow down? Far from film sets and crowded cities, he's chosen a quiet corner of Indiana, a place where the days unfold gently and creativity grows without pressure. Here, routines stay simple, family stays close, and the noise of his industry fades into something soft and manageable. It's not a grand hideaway, just a space that lets him think clearly and live honestly in the way that suits him best. Follow us into this Indiana retreat and see how silence, family, and routine have become the heart of Jesse Eisenberg's artistic life. That calm he holds on to now comes from a childhood that felt far different. Jesse Eisenberg was born in Queens in 1983 and grew up in East Brunswick, where his anxious, quick-moving mind often made the world feel heavier than it should. While other children slipped easily into their days, Jesse struggled to find a place where he fit. The stage became the first space that felt steady. At 7, playing Oliver Twist in a small production, he realized that acting could take his nervous energy and turn it into focus and imagination. As he got older, that feeling stayed with him. School was often overwhelming, but rehearsal rooms gave him room to breathe. By 16, he wasn't just acting. He was writing screenplays, pages that quietly reached major studios. Still, he hesitated to let those stories go. Creative control mattered, and handing his work over never felt simple. His early break came through television. Get Real from 1999 to 2000, then a small disaster film, Lightning, Fire from the Sky, when he was 18. Those roles were stepping stones, but they weren't the moment his world shifted. That came in 2002, during his senior year at the Professional Performing Arts School. Jesse landed the lead in Roger Dodger, an indie film that wouldn't just reveal his talent, it would reroute his life entirely. The performance earned him the Most Promising Actor award at the San Diego Film Festival and cost him his chance to enroll at NYU. Instead, he chose the new school, majoring in liberal arts while juggling scripts, auditions, and the restless energy of someone who always needed to be creating. For the next several years, he built a career quietly, one indie film at a time. Cursed, The Squid and the Whale, Adventureland. Each role carried the same undercurrent: nervous intelligence, an edge of vulnerability, and a precision that set him apart. But it wasn't until 2009 that his life accelerated. Zombieland turned him into a global name, proving that the soft-spoken kid from New Jersey could anchor a box office hit. Then came the role that changed everything. In 2010, Jesse stepped into the skin of Mark Zuckerberg in David Fincher's The Social Network. It was a performance that felt almost electric, sharp, tense, disciplined, earning him nominations for the Academy Awards, BAFTA, and Golden Globes, and the Best Actor Award from the National Board of Review. For the first time, he wasn't the promising indie actor. He was one of the defining voices of his generation. Success flowed into new chapters. He voiced Blue in Rio, acted in 30 minutes or less, and then returned to Woody Harrelson's orbit in Now You See Me, the heist franchise that introduced him to a wider mainstream audience. He took risks too, starring in The Double, embracing the chaos of American Ultra, and stepping into the controversial role of Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman. The reactions were mixed, but Jesse has never been an actor who chases approval. He follows curiosity, even when it leads him into difficult territory. Parallel to Hollywood, another identity bloomed: the playwright. In 2011, he debuted Asuncion, followed by The Revisionist in 2013 and The Spoils in 2015, a work that won the Irving Laurie Foundation Theatre Visions Fund Award and later crossed to London's Trafalgar Studios. His writing, dry and piercing, mirrors the interior world he has inhabited since childhood. Across all the roles, rewrites, and quiet risks, Jesse Eisenberg has built a career shaped by precision and vulnerability rather than volume. His journey reflects an artist who moves gently but with intent, creating a place for himself in an industry that rarely rewards softness. But beyond the spotlight lies his quieter world in Indiana. a home that shows the steadiness and simplicity he's always grown toward. House in Indiana. At the far end of a quiet street in Bloomington, where cars rarely pass and the air feels softer than in any coastal city he's lived in, Jesse Eisenberg found the kind of calm he spent years trying to name. What started as a temporary lockdown move soon became home, a place where his family felt safe, routines found their rhythm, and caring for his ailing mother-in-law folded naturally into daily life. The house itself doesn't announce a celebrity lives here. It sits low and steady, wrapped in gray siding and warm brick, the front porch tucked neatly beneath sharp roof lines. Step through the door and the feeling shifts immediately. Light gathers across the entryway, slipping past the staircase and into a living room shaped for unhurried days. The open layout carries a sense of ease. Soft green walls, wide windows pulling in the trees outside, and a barn-style door that opens to one of 4 bedrooms, each space shaped with a quiet practicality that suits him. The kitchen sits at the center of it all, bright and open, a place where family noise softens into comfort. Morning light lands across the long island, catching the pale cabinets and the small custom accents that give the home its personality. A pendant light chosen for warmth rather than show, a spread of well-used utensils that signals real life more than staging. It's a house built for living, not performing, and you feel that in the way rooms flow into one another without edges. Down the hall, the main bedroom settles into a calmer rhythm. Soft wood floors underfoot, a simple bed beneath a small window framed by trees, and a sliding barn door leading into a bathroom with double vanities and a walk-in shower. Nothing extravagant, just a quiet, intentional space. Across the home, the additional bedrooms hold layers of family life. Posters on the walls, shelves of toys, sunlight spilling across colorful rugs. Even the office upstairs feels lived in, with dual monitors, guitars leaning against the wall, and the kind of organized clutter belonging to someone who works and unwinds in the same breath. And then there is the backyard, the part of the home that feels closest to the life Jesse wanted for his family. A covered porch stretches across the back of the house, framed by pale curtains that move softly with the wind. Beyond it, the yard opens into a sweep of green bordered by trees and thick landscaping, a natural privacy fence that gives the family room to breathe. The quiet out here is almost complete, broken only by birds in the woods behind the fence. In this quiet Indiana home, life feels unforced, a place shaped by routine, family, and the steady calm he never found in bigger cities. It's where days slow down, where noise fades, and where Jesse finally feels anchored. But before this calm took root, his life moved to a different rhythm, one set inside a much smaller New York apartment that held an earlier version of him. House in New York. Before Indiana became the quiet center of Jesse Eisenberg's life, there was a small, lovingly kept house in New Dorp that held the rhythm of his earlier years. From the street, the 2,000-square-foot home looks calm and settled, the kind of place that has been cared for gently over time. The facade is soft and symmetrical, framed by neat shrubs and a walkway that leads to a black-trimmed front door glowing in the afternoon light. Nothing about it reaches for attention, yet everything about it feels lived in and steady. A fairy tale simplicity shaped by routine, family, and the pace of New York's quieter corners. Step inside and the foyer opens like a small breath. Sunlight slips through the French windows, pulling you toward the living room, where a wood-burning fireplace anchors the space. The room is bright but gentle, its white trim and soft neutrals giving it a warmth that doesn't come from decoration so much as presence. The kind of warmth that grows from years of moments stacked quietly on top of one another. Just beyond the living room sits a bright sunroom, wrapped in new custom windows that catch the light from every direction. The space feels both playful and peaceful. Mornings with a book, Lazy summer breezes drifting through, children's toys scattered in soft pastels. Even when empty, it holds the feeling of a room designed for slow hours, the kind that lets you exhale without realizing you needed to. Across the center hall, the dining room offers a different kind of stillness. Framed by wainscoting and soft white walls, it carries the memory of holiday dinners, Sunday brunches, and the easy chatter that fills a table long after the plates have been cleared. From there, the kitchen unfolds in warm wood and stone, nearly every appliance updated, every corner shaped by family use. Even in its simplicity, it tells you exactly who lived here, someone who values comfort over display. Upstairs, 3 bright bedrooms hold a more private quiet. Crisp light, clean lines, soft furniture that feels chosen for rest rather than show. The newly renovated bathroom adds a touch of modern freshness, the kind that keeps an old home breathing easily. Down the hall, the attic waits above, tucked away, full of the small amenities and stored away pieces of a life that was once just beginning to expand. Outside, the pace slows again. The backyard feels like its own small oasis. Lush green grass, carefully kept landscaping, and a patio shaded by a retractable awning for warmth. At the edge of the yard sits a saltwater pool with a newer liner, a simple rectangle that has held years of laughter, summer noise, and the cooling hush that comes after long, busy days. You can sense how many seasons the space has carried, how many memories live quietly in the corners of that lawn. Today, Jesse rents out this New York home while settling into a calmer rhythm in Indiana with his wife's family. But the house in New Dorp still feels like a chapter that shaped him. A place built not on luxury but on care, intention. Even from a distance, you sense why this home remains a gentle landmark of his past, a reminder of how he learned to live simply, privately, and with intention. And that same simplicity follows him beyond the doorstep, into the cars he chooses and the quiet routines they support. Car collection. The Ford Escape is where his days usually begin. A small, practical SUV valued around $28,000, the kind of car that blends into any street without asking to be noticed. Jesse steps out of it the way he steps through most of his life, quietly, hands full of papers or a bike helmet, earbuds still in, mind moving faster than his feet. The Escape doesn't say anything about him, and that's exactly why it works. It lets him pass through the world without interruption. On the days when family shapes the schedule, a different car appears. The Land Rover Discovery Sport, priced near $42,000. It's the one with enough room for backpacks, jackets, half-finished snacks, and the kind of scattered conversations that only happen on the way somewhere. There's a warmth to the way he moves this car through the city, unhurried, focused only on the small voices in the back seat. The Discovery feels less like an SUV and more like a space where life stays soft and manageable. The Toyota Sienna tells another story entirely. Worth around $36,000, it shows up when practicality takes over. Festivals, long travel days, commitments that require comfort more than anything else. Sliding doors, open cabin, nothing fancy. It's the choice of a man who doesn't need to perform outside of work, someone who values ease over image. In the Sienna, Jesse isn't an actor or director. He's just a dad trying to make the day run smoothly. And then there's the Volvo XC90, sitting quietly at the edge of his routine. Estimated at $56,000, it carries a different kind of calm, the kind he reaches for between rehearsals or after a long week of writing. He steps out of it with a water bottle in hand, a thought still forming behind his eyes, as if the drive gave him a moment the rest of the world couldn't. The XC90 suits those pauses, the in-between hours where he can simply breathe and reset. Each one carries a slice of his daily life. The quiet drives, the family errands, the moments he'd rather keep small. Together they sketch a man who prefers usefulness over show and comfort over display. And that mindset doesn't stop in his garage. It shapes the way he's built and managed his earnings too. Let's take a look at what that journey really looks like. Income and net worth. Jesse Eisenberg didn't stumble into a $10 million net worth. He carved it out, project by project, with the same precision that defines his work. His first real foothold came with Get Real, where a $420,000 paycheck marked the quiet start of a surprisingly powerful career. Indie films shaped his 2000s and brought him rising recognition. He earned $90,000 for The Squid and the Whale, $110,000 for Adventureland, and $85,000 for Cursed. These weren't blockbuster salaries, but they helped him carve out a niche as one of Hollywood's most distinctive young actors. His first significant jump came with Zombieland in 2009, which paid him $500,000. The next year, The Social Network elevated both his reputation and his income, earning him $1,500,000 for the role of Mark Zuckerberg, a performance that brought him Oscar, BAFTA, and Golden Globe nominations and shifted his career into a new tier. Mainstream films in the 2000s earned him $400,000, while 30 Minutes or Less paid him $650,000. His role as J. Daniel Atlas in Now You See Me brought him $2,300,000, and the sequel added $2,800,000 more. Even projects with mixed reactions contributed meaningfully. He earned $1,500,000 for playing Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman. Alongside acting, Jesse built a second income stream through writing. His plays Asuncion, The Revisionist, and The Spoils generated a combined $210,000 in royalties, while his book, Bream Gives Me Hiccups, earned him $100,000 in advances and sales. These projects didn't match Hollywood salaries, but they strengthened the financial independence he values most. Across his career, Jesse has earned a total estimated $23 million in gross income, with selective work and modest spending shaping the $10 million net worth he maintains today. A financial story built steadily, intentionally, and without the noise of Hollywood excess. In the end, his earnings reflect a career built on focus rather than flash. A quiet, deliberate path that allowed him to choose projects he believed in and create a stable life shaped by purpose instead of pressure. With that steady foundation in place, another part of his story unfolds: the quiet ways he chooses to give back. Philanthropy. Much of it begins in Indiana, where he and his family now live. There, he formed a long-standing relationship with Middle Way House, a shelter supporting women and children escaping domestic violence. His contribution of $100,000 helped expand crisis services, but Jesse stayed involved long after the check cleared, showing up for fundraisers, speaking at community events, and using his voice to keep the shelter visible when resources ran thin. His compassion stretches beyond his own community. Through Shoe Revolt, a nonprofit fighting child trafficking, Jesse donated $50,000 to help fund education programs and survivor support. It was a small number compared to Hollywood norms, but perfectly aligned with the way he gives: targeted, sincere, and focused on impact rather than recognition. Animals have also shaped his philanthropic life. Jesse contributed $70,500 to Farm Sanctuary, supporting rescue efforts and long-term care for abused farm animals. He appeared at their events not as a celebrity guest, but as someone who genuinely believes in the dignity of animals and the importance of environmental stewardship. And then there are the acts that money cannot measure. Jesse has volunteered with Theater of War, performing readings meant to help veterans process trauma. He has supported Playing on Air by writing and performing original pieces that introduce theater to new audiences. With Voices of a People's History, he has participated in reenactments of historical speeches that highlight justice, equality, and human dignity. These are not glamorous commitments. They are hours spent serving communities that rarely make headlines. But perhaps the most profound act came in 2025, when Jesse prepared to donate one of his kidneys to a stranger. It is an uncommon decision in any field, but especially in Hollywood, where vulnerability tends to stay hidden. His choice reflected something essential about him, a quiet understanding of how deeply one action can change another person's life. Taken together, Jesse Eisenberg's Philanthropy forms a portrait of someone who gives not out of obligation, but conviction. It is steady, humble, and deeply human, an extension of the sensitivity that has shaped his work from the beginning. After all these quiet acts of giving, another side of Jesse begins to take shape. The private life where his gentleness settles into daily rhythm. Personal life. At home in Indiana, Jesse Eisenberg lives at a pace that feels closer to who he truly is than anything Hollywood could offer. His days settle into a quiet rhythm, early mornings feeding the animals on the small property he shares with his wife, Anna Strout, and slow walks with their son, Banner, along the neighborhood paths he's taken so many times they feel like part of his memory. Life here is simple, not curated, not performed, just a series of routines that keep him steady. Most of his work now happens at home. He writes at the same kitchen table where his son does homework, drafts scripts in notebooks stacked beside a bowl of fruit, and holds meetings over video calls rather than studio lots. When he's preparing for a role or promoting a film, he flies out briefly, handles what needs to be done, then returns to Indiana as if exhaling back into familiar air. Even the ads he participates in tend to be small, purposeful, tied to projects or communities he cares about. Family sits at the center of nearly everything. He and Anna keep a low profile, rarely sharing personal images, but locals in Bloomington often mention seeing them at the farmer's market or a neighborhood cafe. Jesse in a hoodie, pushing a stroller or carrying tote bags, ordering something simple. He eats modestly, leans toward vegetarian meals, and avoids anything that feels excessive. Exercise comes quietly too. Long walks, light runs, and the occasional bike ride when he wants to clear his mind. His circle is small, made up of longtime friends, writers he admires, and people from the local arts community. He's known to volunteer at youth programs, perform in small readings, or help promote local events without fanfare. In private, he reads obsessively: psychology, fiction, philosophy, anything that helps tame the anxious thoughts he's spoken openly about. These habits shape him more than any red carpet ever has. What he has now isn't accidental. It's the life he chose with intention. After years of moving through an industry that rarely slows for anyone, he carved out a space that finally reflects his values. And in that quiet, grounded world, he's living exactly the kind of life he's earned. If you enjoy stories like this, honest, quiet portraits behind public lives, don't forget to like and subscribe. More voices, more journeys, and more hidden corners of the people you admire are waiting in the next video.